Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Cogan, founder of Eliances.
Oh, what an incredible morning. I mean, we just had the NHRA funny car race car driver, daughter of John Paul DeJoria, Alexis DeJoria. Later on the show, we've got the youngest of the Osmond brothers, Jimmy Osmond from the Osmond family. And later on, we're wrapping up the show with a special guest who's ranked #1 in his franchise category. So just incredible. But I'll tell you, let me start off with our next guest, our next hero. Anyone remember the old days when you wanted to do a conference call? You either had one, go through the hassle of paying big bucks to get what I call maybe a chat line, or two, get three-way calling, connect with someone else that had three-way calling, and so on and so on. And then by the time you did all that too, nobody could hear anybody because you were too far off. I mean, our next hero though, my first thought is, why didn't I think of that? As everyone I know in business uses what he's created. Yep, our next hero is Dave Erickson, founder and CEO of FreeConferenceCall.com. So Dave, at what exact moment did this idea come to you?
It was October 26th at 3 a.m. in the morning.
3 a.m. in the morning, and you thought, what just popped in your head or what?
Popped in my head. It was 2001, and I had put two different pieces of information together that kind of got me started on the idea. And it was at that point in time I thought of the domain name FreeConferenceCall.com.
And it was available, which is just amazing.
Yeah, it was available at the time. I didn't have a computer at home. I just had the one computer at the office, and so I was going crazy there on the end of the bed, thinking like, "Gosh, is that available or not available?" Or so.
Now, this must have taken a ton of money to create, build. Most startups always say, "If I had more money, I could do more." Right? What was your secret though with funding?
Well, so the company is completely bootstrapped. I used the offer and the people, the ingress of people coming into the company to sell other services, and was able to support it with that until ultimately I was able to monetize it. But in some ways, not having the money I think was helpful. I didn't know it at the time, but I had a guy that was doing a very similar thing, had a lot of money, and built a much more complex system than FreeConferenceCall.com, and you don't hear about that one as much.
Now, some think the success comes from the idea versus the work that you do. I mean, it's important for people to know, our listeners, you spent 918 days answering your customer service line without a break, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Very few would do that, let alone be able to do it and hold up for so long. But what else does it take to start, build, and grow an idea into a company that becomes a legacy like yours, FreeConferenceCall.com?
Well, I don't want to take anything away from ideas. I think great ideas are the catalyst of good things. Although hard work in itself is I don't see how you do it without the hard work, and ultimately, what led to all of those days strung together and doing, what I did for FreeConferenceCall.com was an absolute love and just desire to do that. I wanted to see blinking lights and computer equipment really bad.
You've changed the whole industry, though. You've made it easy. You've solved a problem for businesses. You've given many speeches, and in the speeches, you've mentioned the word heart. So, is it possible to describe what it means and how one knows they really have their heart in it versus just saying it?
Well, so I'm kind of fortunate in the line of business I'm in that I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and the idea of owning a company like Free Conference Call, if it was 1/10 the size, I would be absolutely tickled pink. But what's better about it is that the people that are using Free Conference Call, we serve all of the Fortune, you name it, the World Bank, the governments, But what's really important is we serve a lot of entrepreneurs that are just like me, people that are looking to get their businesses up. And it's amazing how much a company can do with a free conference call account and getting on the road and getting something going and just kind of the basics of pulling together an idea. And so the companies that have gotten launched on free conference call is I have that same heart. I have that same desire.
I mean, this is a huge task, something you've solved, and there are so many businesses using it. I mean, do you feel, is it mainly small businesses, medium, large businesses that use FreeConferenceCall.com?
So one guy came up with the statistics once, and he said it was 1% of humanity was the number of unique callers that we had into FreeConferenceCall.com. It's all over the map, and we serve the large companies really well. But I think that my designs and my thoughts surround kind of the smaller user, and we've been able to do something very, very special there.
And we have Dave Erickson live in our studio. He is the founder of FreeConferenceCall.com. You're listening to Eliances Heroes. Be a hero with David Cogan. Go to where entrepreneurs align. Be part of the community. Eliances.com. That's ELIANCES.com. Now, Dave, I'm scratching my head because you don't believe in business plans. Yet we were taught in school that we need one, we've got to build one, it's got to be X amount of pages long, it's got to have all the complexity of it. Help us understand your thought process on that.
So far, it's worked well for me. I just feel that as an entrepreneur, I started mowing lawns as a little kid, and from there I kept morphing and ultimately, if I didn't change my plan, I'd probably still be mowing lawns, wouldn't I? But as you go through and you develop different businesses and you can stay on what you thought how it was going to work in the beginning, or you can make adjustments, or perhaps even go down an entirely different path.
I think if you were in the lawn mowing business, though, you would have revolutionized that and figured out, and everybody would have been somehow using your services. Why don't you like to raise money? I mean, you started with a $10 domain name, FreeConferenceCall.com, which was incredible that it was even available, and you ran it from there.
So raising money is, I think that some business models, some of the things people embark on do need a money raise. But if you don't need to raise money, there's really something to doing it at the right pace, seeing the organic growth come out of the company, and just being an entrepreneur, not having to answer to anybody. I don't answer to anybody. I don't answer to a board. I don't answer to investors. I do what I want to do, and I basically have to tap the customer to get that knowledge, and that's just a real healthy process. So that's why I don't like raising money. Again, I think some companies need to, and that's just kind of the way that works. But if you don't have to, I wouldn't be ashamed of it. I would be all about the bootstrap.
What are 2 to 3 maybe of the most important secrets that you can share with kids who dream of building a company, leaving their mark in business like you have done, who may wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go, I got an idea?
Yeah. So I would say dream big, right? Don't try and right size your dreams to what you think they should be. Just dream big. I think when you get into your company and you start your work, do what you're good at. Find out what you're good at and do that. And don't worry about whether or not someone else successful does something else better. You find the part that you do well in the company, and you do it well. And the third thing I would say is be yourself, because everyone else is taken and looking at what other people do, only when it's motivating, never when it's makes you feel less than or something like that. Stick with what you're good at.
I'm getting a ton of texts now from our listeners, and they want to know, and we've got a little less than a minute here, is okay, so you've got FreeConferenceCall.com, so how do you make money with it? The magic question. I mean, all these texts are coming in.
Yes, it is. So in the telecom network, there's charges for going through the network, and based on those charges, we're able to get a portion of those for owning network and controlling the ingressing traffic. So we we serve the voice community by actually transporting the voice, and make money doing that, and then make the application the attractive thing that they go there for.
Dave Erickson, you could reach him at FreeConferenceCall.com. He's the founder. We're excited to have you. You built your company literally from a domain name. A hero sees a better way to do business, drives the path towards success without stopping. You created FreeConferenceCall.com and have run other companies in different industries and have employed others. With that, when we return, we're going to have the younger of the Osmond brothers, Jimmy Osmond of the Osmond family, David Cogan with Eliances.